Morning, all. All right, so let us jump into a preview for Wednesday, March 3rd. Yeah, already 3 days into March. Not going to take that long till we're into May, and then the season's over, and then we're talking about playoffs. But before we get there, we got to get through the rest of the regular season. And tonight we got 6 games. Only one starting at 4 o'clock, and that's Washington and Boston. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Washington 12-5-4 against the 12-5-2 Boston Bruins. Traditionally, Washington wins this, and if Tuukka Rask's in net, Washington really wins it. Now, both teams have won once in the series between these two, so this is game 3 out of 8 between them. Backstrom, 10 goals, 15 assists so far this year. Continues to be an amazing story for the Washington Capitals. And Carlson, 5 goals, 14 assists. Very good. -5 would keep him out of Norris conversations, I would think, though. Charlie Coyle, things seem to be picking up for him. 5 goals, 3 assists for him. And Marchand continues to just keep rolling along. 10 goals, 13 assists from a guy who, if we were giving out MVPs by division, apparently Marchand would get some votes. So I've had that discussion and done that video years ago. Anyways, then we have a game an hour later at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. So the games are nicely spread out tonight. Toronto in against the Edmonton Oilers, and of course Edmonton's been embarrassed with back-to-back shutout losses, so they're going to be looking to change that narrative tonight. Toronto's won 4 out of 6 against Edmonton so far, and so this is getting near the end of the series between the two because they've got 3 more left, including tonight. Nylander, 9 goals and 10 assists, 19 points now for the Leafs, who are 17-4-2. Joe Thornton, in 11 games, has 3 goals and 7 assists. His scoring has been very good for Toronto. He's been basically rejuvenated. And then for the 14-10 Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl trying to get himself going. 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 points, as are all of the Oilers, of course. Keep an eye on Darnell Nurse as well. 6 goals, 10 assists for him. Very good season. And for the Oilers, if they lose this one tonight, there's going to be a lot of questions about whether or not their season's completely going off the rails. I don't expect Toronto to be able to win 3 in a row in Edmonton, but I didn't expect back-to-back shutouts either, so we'll see how things work out. At 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, we have the Anaheim Ducks at home against the St. Louis Blues. So St. Louis is now 12-8-2, Anaheim 6-11-5, and St. Louis has won all 3 meetings with Anaheim. So this is what I was talking about before the season when St. Louis fans weren't all that happy about which division they were in. I said, hey, you got the California teams, you guys will be happy. And in the case of Anaheim, they should be. For the Blues, Kyrou, 8 goals, 11 assists for them. He's had an amazing season so far. Hoffman has bounced back from a slow start, 6 goals and 9 assists for him. On the Anaheim side, Comtois continues to put up points, 8 goals and 6 assists. He's the one Anaheim Duck that's doing so. But Raquel has picked himself up recently. And even though 2 goals and 9 assists don't look that impressive, he has been better lately. The offense is starting to show up. And I think the goals will come too. I do. I still think Raquel ends up scoring some goals before the end of the season. If he has less than... I'll say I think he can go on a hot streak and get to 15. But yeah, anyway. And then half an hour later at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, we got 2 more games starting. So much like on Monday, the games get busier as the night goes along. So for people on the East Coast, they're probably not going to bother with a lot of this. They don't really have to. They don't have to worry about their teams going out west this year. That's got to be kind of nice for people in the East. So yeah, 12-6-1 Minnesota in against the 13-4-1 Vegas Golden Knights, who had the comeback and the victory to win their first meeting against Minnesota this year. And it's a shame for Minnesota because they'd played the perfect road game for 50 minutes. And then it all fell apart for the last 10 and in the overtime. So they have to guard against that. That's something with Kaprizov, who's been fantastic, that you can expect that he does have 6 goals, 11 assists. He's a rookie. I know he's older than other rookies, but he just came over to North America. So there are going to be things about the NHL game that take a little while to learn, and protecting a lead might be one of those things. Victor Rask, 5 goals, 4 assists, of course, playing on his line, and loving playing with this kid. On the Vegas side, Stone had a big night the other night. 4 goals, 18 assists now for him on the season. It's interesting to me he only has the 4 goals, but the thing with Stone is that he's so good at turnovers. He is so good at, and I mean forced, not giving them away. He is so good at all the defensive aspects of the game and just every little part of the game that if the goals aren't there, it's fine. So 22 points so far is pretty darn good. And then Glass, 14 games for the kid, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. He's starting to pick it up as well. Also starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Arizona Coyotes in against the LA Kings. Arizona 9-9-3. LA's 9-7-4 right here. And LA's won both meetings with Arizona so far this year. LA's going to be looking to get back on track after the setback against the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota just being the hotter team. So for Arizona, Dvorak's had an amazing run so far. 9 goals and 7 assists for him. And Kessel has started producing again. Hot and cold. He's been hot lately. He now has 8 goals and 8 assists. Evens out pretty well for him. Dustin Brown has continued to be one of the hotter players in the league when it comes to goal scoring. 11 goals and 6 assists for him. Jeff Carter, 4 goals and 8 assists. The goal scoring isn't what it once was, but I think he's had a pretty good season so far. The numbers would tell you that the offensive side of the game isn't what it was with him. But again, I think he's been pretty good for them. And the 9-7-4 run is better than what we probably expected. And then a half an hour later, 7:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, or 7:30 Eastern, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Oh man, 10:30 Pacific. No thanks. The Tahoe game was late enough. I'd have to just do a video and say, look, this game starts at 10:30 my time. I love you guys, but I'm out. So Colorado 11-7-1. That's why I'm glad I'm not on the East Coast trying to do what I do here. 11-7-1 for Colorado. They've been disappointing, and we're starting to have that conversation. And San Jose 8-9-2. Colorado's won 2 out of 3. Of course, San Jose won the 3rd, so we'll see if San Jose can even the series tonight. And we're gonna have a conversation about Colorado and how McKinnon doesn't really look like McKinnon so far. 5 goals, 16 assists for him, 21 points. That's got to pick up. Burakovsky, 4 goals, 8 assists. And there are a number of totals in Colorado that are just okay to good. But compared to what was expected of them before the season, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. So for San Jose, Timo Meier, he's starting to heat up. 4 goals, 10 assists for him. And Rudolph Balcers, 9 games played, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. I've always pumped his tires. Here I am again. He manages to score. He manages to get points. I think he has good offensive instincts. Maybe they don't like his game defensively. Maybe that's why Ottawa didn't have him in their future. But San Jose's got to be happy to have him back. So there you go. Let me know your picks for tonight. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.